It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith.
Bye, Ernie.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks, David.
Boys, nice night.
Tip-off goes to Seattle. So here's Miami's starting group. Prince out there with Harris. Then it's Gary Harris. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Olynyk in at the 5 spot. And the basket by Harris.
Whether it's inside or outside, Harris remains steady and ready to shoot the ball. He definitely has the trust of his teammates and coaches. Tobias Harris, now he's a player, he gives you a little bit of everything. He can spot up, if you put a bigger guy on him, he can take you down low and drag a small if you switch on to him. Love his game.
Curry kicks to Harris. They set the pick. Passes it to Harris. Over Middleton. Harris misses. On defense, the Heat. Lillard outside. To the middle. Here's Gortat. It's blocked.
Ooh,
It goes out of bounds.
get that out of here.
Last touch by Olynyk. About a minute played so far here in the first. Lillard with the bucket. Seattle on defense. It's a 3-point game coming off that loss against the Nets.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
And they tried to adjust, but every play they ran got countered by a better one.
Now here is Hill following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. Lillard left side. No good from outside. For Miami, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the foul against Seattle. The Heat shooting their first free throws here tonight.
Only 71% from the line last season, and rest assured they're hoping to bring those numbers up this year.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And it's Seattle with the ball. And this is their first time matched up with this year's Heat team.
And this is a matchup that can frustrate them as they came up empty in their 2 games against them last year.
Now here's Middleton. 14 points from him the last game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that. When he gets the separation he needs, I know he would love to have that one back.
Now Prince. After the miss 3 from Damian Lillard. Gortat against Olynyk. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Olynyk's got his first 2 points of the night. Seattle has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And Greg, you hear about the competitive culture that this Miami Heat franchise has.
Yeah, and that doesn't always work for some teams, but it works for the Heat. This group will push each other all the time to be the best they can be. The practices have a feel of game level intensity.
Now here's Curry after the miss from Damian Lillard. Screened by Olynyk. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Gortat. And that one goes long.
The movement and the shot selection are good there, but you can't hit them all.
And Lillard kicks to Porter.
I just put out Curry's hairline is,
Hill with it.
I don't even know how to explain
Not a
it,
good
but
performance from him in that
kinda
loss
see
to
through it.
Brooklyn.
out of 1080.
It's stolen by Harris.
Shouldn't that technically be a backcourt violation?
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Well, yeah, he might have seen something he wants to exploit. Well, we'll see what they run coming out of this.
See, I told you guys it's
just
rigging the
under
game.
3.5 minutes played. And Olynyk kicks to Harris. Screen by Olynyk.
Parachutes.
Miami no good on that time either.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Middleton dishes to Hill. 17 seconds left to play here in the first. Just 4 to shoot. Porter with it. Picked up by Harris. Shot to end this cold run.
And Harris just using that long reach of his so well on defense. Shooters have to be more careful or he'll rise up and swat your shot away.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Heat lead by... Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
The Heat with the lead. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for Miami, Curry is out there with Gary Harris. Then there's Harris. Then it's Kelly Olynyk, and it's Prince in at the 3. Well, Chris, as you look around the league and with all the great players in it, who would you like to have played with that's playing right now?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, you look at all the big fellas. I definitely would love to play with the Cousins or Davis. You look at guards. I mean, how could you not want to play with Westbrook, Harden, or LeBron? I mean, it's like telling a kid go in the candy store what game you want to pick. It might take him an hour. He might pass out just with the excitement. I don't know. There's so many great players in this league, man. It's so hard to choose one. How about you just take any of the top 10 and whichever one I pick out of the hat, I'd play with them and be happy.
I like that. How about in the past, guys you would have liked to have played with when you were playing the game?
Wow, that's late in my career, Kevin, I could have played with Tim Duncan. I've always thought that would have been like Shaq, KG. It would have been other big players at that time when you needed 2 guys inside to play. So it definitely have been guys that I respect battling and going up against, and those would have been the first I would look to play with. But those guys come to mind first and foremost.
Here's Middleton. Tries again, and it's Porter heading it to go. Porter's got his first bucket of the night.
Oh, look, Porter uses his length well on the offensive glass. Remarkable at hitting the boards and coming away with the rebound.
Olynyk, a screen on Lillard. Here's Curry. Olynyk the pass to Curry. Harris kicks to Curry.
What are you doing?
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Back to Harris. Over Porter. Miami no good on that time either.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
And the basket by Hill.
And playing with a lot of fire now. They had a tough start in that first quarter. Didn't shoot it well, but didn't let that discourage them. And now they're showing what they can do offensively.
Curry kicks to Olynyk. And they get it. Miami no good on that time either.
He finds a major hole in the D beyond the arc and still can't cash in on it.
And for Damian Lillard, Chris, last season arguably his best yet as far as individual numbers are concerned. And yet again,
2 for 12
he was snubbed for an all-star game.
Well, he just calls it wood on fire. I mean, Lillard, a 2-time all-star, he probably should have made it a few more times. I know he feels that way, but he's not focused on the accolades. He's focused on winning.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
Yeah, as a big fella, that's the thing, Greg. You got to be quick in setting those screens. If you get a little lazy, you'll get called for it.
Shoots the 3. That shot missing, and it's Miami the other way.
They haven't been able to count on his scoring tonight, but still, here they are in the lead.
The dish now to Prince. Outside Curry. Good on the 3-point shot. Curry's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Using so many devices to get his shot. I mean, that time Curry on the catch and shoot.
There's a good screen. Kicks to Lillard. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. Gord's out with a screen on Harris. Here's Hill. Just 5 on the clock. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Hill's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Harris setting the pick for Curry. Back to Harris. The pass to Harris. He kicks to Olynyk. Off target with his three. Hill from deep. No good on that last second attempt there. That'll do it for the first half. Seattle ahead. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime
right,
And
Show.
hello
so
again. We
far.
have an exhilarated
Gary is still
checking
performing
out
like Gary
Seattle.
or Kevin Love.
And big fella, let's get your
type of way.
thoughts on the home team.
You got to like
Kelly
their
and
offensive
Steph,
efficiency.
Kelly and Steph are
Patient
just
to
really
good
having off
shots.
games.
That was
So,
reflected in the high field goal
second
percentage.
half,
They just need to
Peter
keep
probably
playing
come
smart in
out
the second
on,
half and
fire.
close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
I used to say that about
Kenny,
the heat up.
what'd you think about Miami? Well, and that wraps up the halftime show, third quarter.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
That's not lead scorer, I thought. That's just
The Heat trail by
their
8.
stat leader overall.
They've got Chris Middleton. Gortat is out there with Otto Porter Jr. Then it's George Hill, and it's Lillard in at the 1 spot. They're the group for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half. Olynyk dishes to Harris. 4 on the clock. Screen by Olynyk. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Harris has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Heat. Here's Lillard. 6 points for him. Outside Hill. There's a screen by Gortat. Porter in the corner. Over Harris. And it's Seattle with another.
The high release of Porter helps on these contested shots. A talented scorer, even when the D is on him. Well, it took some time to develop, but Otto Porter is starting to put everything together. He was considered a bit of a project when he came into the NBA, drafted 3rd overall, but all the promise is now being fulfilled as he is a great do-it-all forward.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
There's a screen by Gortat. Hill passes to Lillard. For 3, Middleton. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Lillard's got 3 assists in the game. And you forget at times that Otto Porter was taken 3rd overall, Chris, as you mentioned. He's shown great development. He's had a big jump in play.
Even though they're only
after
down
year.
12
Yeah, but so
or
often
11,
guys who are considered projects,
they can easily come back
they
because
never
there's still 6
developed.
minutes
Porter
left.
was a risk, but made sure he lived
But
up
all
to
get
his
down to
draft
about
spot.
5 or 6 by the end.
A chance to take a moment and compare the front court and back court scoring on the night for Seattle.
And their guards have been the difference makers. This lead wouldn't be nearly as big as
If they
it
make
is
the
if it
shots.
wasn't for that backcourt. And those guys have been running wild.
And Lillard kicks to Middleton. Jacks up a 3. And another 3 for Seattle.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
The Heat trail by 14. Outside Curry. 1:46 left in the third quarter. Shoots over Lillard. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Curry's got 5 points so far.
No, he doesn't need much room. Steph there with the prime time facial.
There's a screen by Gortat. Hill kicks to Gortat. Here's the screen. He feeds it to Lillard.
Same time.
Second shot opportunity. Gortat, and he banks in the layup. Gortat's got the lead up to 14 now for Seattle.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Curry dishes to Harris. There's 57 seconds left to play in the third.
Biggest
And he
blowout, I
makes
think
the
it was
bucket,
the
drew contact
Denver
against the
and
whistle
Minnesota
too.
game where
That's going to send Tobias Harris to the
Durant
line.
had 28 points.
It's
which
going to
was
go
about
on Otto Porter
84.
Jr. And with
Anyhow,
Tobias Harris,
or technically.
he's a player who bounced around more than you would think in the early part of his career. C-Webb, he was traded twice in his first 5 years in the league, which is odd given how he's been growing and developing as a player.
Well, yeah, trades aren't necessarily about the team not being happy with you. It's about finding the right spot. So he had the right work ethic, so you knew Harris was going to improve, and you also knew he was going to be around. Coaches love Harris's hard-working ability. So the future's bright for this kid.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is poor decision-making right here. You can't let them have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Curry kicks to Harris. Over Porter. Harris missing again.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
And the shot no good, a bit short.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And so it's Seattle looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action after this word. Head coach Eric Spoelstra mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
We got to get to defending them, and we got to get attacks in the paint.
Summarize that.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. And Chris, you've been working as an analyst now for quite some time. Do you feel that how you view and enjoy the game has changed as you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth?
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I've learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious.
If you're getting out-rebounded by 9,
that you had the year before,
you're probably going to win a
game. Even if you're not on the team that can compete for a championship, you want to make sure that you compete for a championship, that you compete for an all-star, that you compete to have your name out there. And so a lot of times we'll watch some of those teams, and I love seeing that they compete if they laid it down early in the season. So, no, I would say that really what gives me an advantage is that the way that I looked at the game, and hopefully, you know, that gives me a unique perspective when I'm out there trying to talk to other basketball heads like myself.
On the court for the Heat, Kelly
if we
Olynyk
get
is
the 2
out there with
minutes and
Harris. Then there's Stephen Curry.
blowout benches
then there's
occur,
Harris.
I'm just going to
and
let
it's
go.
Prince in at
This
the
is kind
3
of a blowout
slot.
unless they can start a comeback like right now.
Outside Curry. Curry with another miss.
He hit a 3 in the first half. Now he's searching for his first outside shot in the second half.
Lillard against Curry. And it's Lillard missing.
Wow, he just does everything right there except hit the layup.
Dishes it to Olynyk. And that one drops for him.
Gifted scorer around the rim. Olynyk can finish over either shoulder, and he's got great touch.
Lillard against Curry. Here's Gortat. Miami grabs the miss. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Players with more points than Kevin Love, Gary Harris.
Recognizing the defensive imbalance, Curry quickly locates the open man.
Here's Lillard. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And when you look at Damian Lillard, Rookie of the Year back in 2013, tremendous confidence from day one.
A quiet assassin who carries himself with humility. He lets his game do the talking. Well, how about Kelly Olynyk? I mean, a 7-footer, more of a power forward than a center, but he can step out and shoot pretty light on his feet and can finish strong inside. And as great of a free throw shooter as he is, it's still a part of his game. He works very hard at it.
Curry is inside. Covered by Lillard. Offensive rebound. And the basket by Olynyk.
Oh, I love that aggressiveness from Olynyk. I mean, he can create his own offense. I mean, we all know that, but that time with a little cleanup.
And good that time. 12 points for Lillard. And Chris, an interesting note about Olynyk. He's the rare player whose arm span is less than his height.
Yeah, that is rather weird, and I'm sure that impacts him as a shot blocker, but it doesn't affect his jump shot because he has a wet one and he can get to the cup whenever he needs to.
Curry passes it to Harris. Takes it off the glass.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
Porter kicks to Middleton. Back to Porter. Olynyk with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat.
No question.
Harris to Harris.
This team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Seattle.
When you consider the difference in their field goal percentages, the other team has to be happy that this wasn't a bigger loss. This team was on fire.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always frustrating when you can't throw a rock on the ground and the other guys just can't seem to miss.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Damian Lillard.
Even when the entire defense was focused on stopping him, they couldn't slow him down. I mean, a terrific offensive player.
This game looks like they've got it just about wrapped up.
Yeah, just got to work that clock and take care of the ball.
Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. Gortat with a screen on Harris. Hill kicks to Gortat. Shot clock at 6. Lillard attacking. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. And Seattle leads by 11.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Well, a well-earned victory, feeding off the energy of this hometown crowd really all night.
And here's Harris from the arc. Nailed from three-point land. And so it's Seattle winning this one. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Alden, this is...
Marcin Gortat, better than Kevin Love. See, Dame had a double-double. 42 and 12. Chris Middleton with 33 and 12. Yeah, so there's an issue if Toby is your leading scorer on top of he's taking more shots than Curry. It also didn't help that Curry had those 2 turnovers. Shot charts actually are pretty standard. I think the Heat were just off, just because no one can hit a 3 to save their lives, except for, I guess, those 2.
Work with these like Hercules.